What's up, guys? Welcome to the GSL Codes Finals. We're Tastosis, and this, I think, is safe to say, going to be the greatest finals we've ever had.
I think there's a pretty decent chance of that, Tasteless. PartinG and Life, these are two old school players. They've been in GSL for just countless seasons, for years and years and years and years and years. They both have had multiple peaks in their careers where we consider them the top player of their race in the world. And here they are back again in GSL Finals. Everyone that keeps tweeting and saying, like, oh my God, is this 2012 all over again? But no, this is 2015, in fact, and it couldn't be better.
It is a fantastic day today. We have more Koreans back here, not abroad anymore, competing in as many foreign events. So this is the most competitive GSL Codes we have ever had. By the way, it is packed here in our studio. I believe we have run out of receivers here. So if you are listening to this, you should be one of the few people in the audience that can actually get audio of this. Because we'll get more receivers for next time. But come down here. It's always free to come into the GSL. We've got a lot of great events going on.
That's right. We have a finals event here today. If you predict the Season 1 champion, you can win some cool Corsair gaming stuff. And also people are going to be winning movie tickets to Son of a Gun. So definitely go up to the desk in front near the elevators and enter those. And win some cool stuff for coming down to see a great show.
I believe we're going to go to an interview here shortly.
네, 안녕하세요. 최성훈 선수.
Very shortly.
Son and Pult.
So we're talking to Pult and Son here. And they're here in support of PartinG.
오랜만에 참 보니까 반갑습니다. 강초원 선수
Life knocked them both out of too many
응원하러
tournaments.
오신 건가요?
So you came here to support PartinG. Tell us about that.
멀리서. 오늘 그리고 또 옆에
I came a long way to the studio to support him. And how about you?
팬분들께 좀 인사 좀 해주세요.
And she says we have Captain America here. Pult. Any words to say to your Korean fans?
비행기 타고
I flew out here from the States to support PartinG. Wow.
예. 제가 따로 볼 일이 있어서 한국에 들어왔고요.
He says, well, actually, that's not the only purpose of my trip, but since I'm here,
또 이삭이가
I'm also just here visiting friends and family. But since PartinG's in the finals,
강한 응원이 필요할 것 같아서 제가 또 여기 직접 오게 됐습니다.
And he's against a very strong opponent,
원희삭 선수도 참 이 든든한 응원에 참 힘이 날 것 같은데 오늘 강초원 선수 팀이 원희 선수 옆에서 보셨잖아요. 이길 것 같으세요?
So, Son, you're in the same team as PartinG. How was the practice?
열심히 많이 게임도 봐주고 도와줬거든요.
정말로?
냉정하게
For my
말해서
practice, I hope I helped him a lot here for the finals.
이길 것 같아요.
Objectively,
지금 원희삭
personally,
선수가 보고 있거든요. 자신의
he
찬스
said, and then he's hesitating to answer
해주셔야 합니다.
confidently, but he said, I think he's got a good chance of winning.
이길 것 같으세요?
What about you, Pult?
이 결승하는 두 명 선수가 다 좋은 동생들인데 그래도 뭐 솔직히 누가 이길지 잘 모르겠어요. 저는 테란 유저인데 둘 다 프로토스랑 적이라서 잘 모르겠지만 이삭이 응원하러 왔고 또 승현이는 많이 우승했잖아요. 이삭이가 우승할 것 같아요.
원희삭 선수랑 친분이 있으신가 봐요.
But since Life's won so many titles,
둘 다 친분은
it might be PartinG's turn to win tonight.
많이 친해지진 않구나. 아니구나.
그냥 종종 보는 사이라고 해주세요.
So she asked you, are you sure you're closer to PartinG? He said, no, I'm equally close to both of them.
참 많은 분들이 와서 응원을 해주셨는데 마지막으로 원희삭 선수 오늘 파이팅하라고 이 두 선수의 멋진 응원의 메시지 들어보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 먼저 팀원 강초원 선수의 응원 메시지 먼저 들어보겠습니다.
Any final words in support of PartinG?
GSL 준비하면서 좀 스트레스 좀 많이 받고
This time,
정말 열심히 했거든요.
PartinG was actually very stressed out ahead of time. This GSL finals means a lot to him. I've watched how hard he's trained and prepared.
네, 맛있는 거 기대한다고 하셨는데요.
And I really want him to win tonight.
최성훈 선수도 응원 메시지 부탁드립니다.
And he says he wants a nice treat after this, like a dinner or something.
제가 응원을 직접 왔을 경우에
You know, since I came to the
승리의
studio,
아이콘이네요.
이삭이가 그 기록을 깨뜨리지 않았으면 좋겠고요.
as far as I know,
저도
if I support
덕분에 맛있는 것도 좀
one
한번
player
얻어먹고 가야죠. 여기까지
at the
왔는데
venue,
이삭아 파이팅해.
and that player,
네, 원희삭 선수가 부담감을
he
조금
says,
더 가지지
I really hope
않을까 하는
PartinG
마음도
wins. I think he's got a huge
드는데 자, 두
chance to
선수의
win.
응원
And he said, do your
감사드립니다.
best, PartinG. Good. He says, thank you. That ends it for the interview of the PartinG supporters.
자, 이렇게 원희삭 선수의 아군들을 만나봤고요. 이번에는 이승현 선수를 응원하는 든든한 지원군 부모님을 만나보는
And
시간
now
가져보겠습니다.
we are going to meet,
안녕하세요.
the family members here of Life. I believe those
네,
are the
아버님도
parents.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
And yes, that's the mother and father. They both say
통영에서
hello.
오신 걸로 들었습니다. 오늘 몇 시에 출발하셨어요?
So you came from your hometown,
여기 도착하니까 1시쯤
which I believe is quite far away from here.
멀리서 오실
She said,
만큼
she asked how long
오늘
is the trip?
중요한 결승전입니다.
She said we departed from
아들
our hometown
긴장하고
at 6
있을 것
in the morning.
같네요.
I don't know
어떠세요?
which
통화하셨어요?
part of Korea we're
통화는 안
talking about.
했는데 얼굴은 잠깐
And
봤거든요.
Judy asked, have you spoken with Life yet?
맞습니다.
사실 이승현
no,
선수가
we didn't have
큰
much
무대도
time to
자주
talk to
왔고
Life ahead of time.
결승전에도 또
We just
오신 걸로
saw
알고
him
있습니다.
very
그래도
briefly.
긴장되는 건
But
마찬가지인가요?
as good as he is, I think he should play a great game here today.
아버님은 어떠세요? 오늘 아들 잘할 것
She asked,
같으세요?
are you nervous for your son? She says yes. Judy asked what the expectations are from the father and the performance here for
네,
Life.
참 실력 있는 선수니까 많은 팬분들이 기대를 하고
I don't
있는데
think my son is not that nervous,
4강에서
and he's going to pull out some
결승
great
진출을
games
이룬
today.
이후에 눈물을 흘리는 모습을 저희가 봤습니다. 부담감이 좀 심한가 봐요.
So Life won so many
그때 좀
titles,
많이
but
심했습니다.
we never saw him in tears like we saw in the semifinals, but he was really emotional after that. How did you feel when you saw
네,
that?
이승현 선수 승부욕
And she said,
강하고
I saw
어떤가요?
it
딱 옆에서
and I
보는
was
이승현
touched.
선수는 어떤지 궁금하네요.
굉장히 승부욕이 강합니다. 남한테 질 줄을 모릅니다. 진짜. 예.
그럼 오늘 정말 최선을 다할 것
She
같은데
says he's gonna
마지막으로
perform
이승현
even better
선수
here today in
오늘
the
최선을
finals.
다하라고 부모님께서 밀리지 않는 응원의 메시지 보내주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 자, 두 분이
Before we start the match, any final words in support of your son?
화이팅!
성현아
He
화이팅!
says good luck. He says
네,
good luck, Life,
감사합니다.
and she said the same. Good luck, Life.
네, 이렇게 부모님과 친구들, 이렇게 든든한
Right, so
아군들의
we've
응원
heard from
메시지를
both the
들어봤는데요.
parents,
자, 오늘
of
결승전의
Life and
주인공
the friends here
어떤
of PartinG.
모습으로 등장할까요? 본격적으로
That
오늘의
means shortly we're going to be
결승전
hearing from the two
시작해보겠습니다.
players themselves. But first, a quick video for you.
GSL
It is time to bring out our two players, Life and PartinG.
That is correct. An epic finals, no doubt. These guys have butted heads so many times over the years. This match is just going to be fantastic.
You really couldn't ask for better finals. The matchup, the two players, the personalities they have, the play styles, everything.
Yeah, I mean, these two, we are going to see a series that we have never seen before between these two. These two are not standard players.
No. We're going to bring out our first player now, our Protoss PartinG. There he is. We were talking for a long time about how this guy was going to be in a finals.
Yeah.
Probably win a GSL, but that was years ago and it never happened.
Back in 2012, we were talking about how PartinG will eventually win. You know, he was like simple. We're like, well, these guys are just, they're eventually going to win, right? And at one point, he came close, but he hasn't been to a finals yet.
You know, to get into a GSL finals is so incredibly difficult. If he doesn't win here, he may never win.
That's right. To get back is so incredibly hard. Yet a few players continue to do so, one of which is about to be introduced.
And this player over here, Life, is a player who won the first GSL he was ever in. Phenomenal player.
Royal Rotor, world champion. Closest thing we've had to a bone draw since MVP.
Yep.
And that's like, all jokes aside, this guy is the most dominating player that we've had since MVP. Think about that for a moment.
It's pretty insane, I mean, especially with how competitive StarCraft 2 has been in Korea and outside of Korea. The fact that this guy's been so consistent, it's really something remarkable.
Yeah. It's, in fact, Life. Oh man, I'll talk more about it after this interview, but I have some like really respect for him.
항상 이야기를 했죠. 이승현 혼쭐 내주겠다. 만나기만 하면 내가 승을 따내겠다 얘기를 했는데 오는 데까지
You were always talking about how you were going to take down Life.
1221일이 걸렸어요.
But it took 12 seasons to finally get here onto the final stage. How are you feeling now that you're here?
제가 정말 그동안 많은 탈락을 하면서 도끼를 엄청 많이 뽑았는데
There were so many tough times in previous GSLs where I was eliminated, and it feels like today is
열심히 준비했거든요.
time to get my payback for that. I prepared a lot, and I'm going to show to all my fans and supporters why I deserve to be the GSL champion.
2012년 블리자드컵 보시면은 이승현
So, do you remember
선수가
back in the Wings of Liberty
GSL
days?
배지를 갖고 있어요. 그 결승전에서 패배했기 때문에
Can you see that the man that you're about to face off already has 2 championships?
빼앗긴 트로피 찾아와야 되는 거 아닙니까? 이승현이에요, 이승현.
This one could be yours.
확실하게 눌러줄 각오 준비됐습니까?
오늘
You must feel a lot
그
of
배지 저 오늘 지금도
intense
보는데 좀
motivation.
약간 기분이 나쁜데
What are your
오늘
chances?
제 거라고
And he says
생각하는데
yes. Whenever I look at
좀 잘못 만난 것
the
같고
badges
오늘
that
새로운 배지한테
Life has,
잘
they're right
왔다고
there in the
말하고
upper right
싶고
side of his shirt.
그리고 오늘
yeah, whenever he sees those
마지막
badges,
게임인 것처럼 정말 준비 열심히 했거든요. 진짜
He gets
보여드리도록
envious, but
하겠습니다.
because it's the finals, he's putting everything to get that trophy, to get that badge he can wear on his jersey. And he's really hoping to pull out his best performance here today.
아니 절대 군주가 돼서 이 적의 시장으로 통치해야 되는데.
So Life, you're the king of Zerg,
풀세트가 지고.
but you were also the crown
이진영에게
Zerg in the
풀세트를 이기고.
semifinals.
맞아 김준호 선수에게도 거의 질 뻔한 경기 가까스로 승리 따내면서 이 자리까지 올라왔어요.
It was a really close match
이번에는
in the semifinals
모습
against
보여줘야 되는
Hero.
거 아닙니까?
이번에도 이삭이 형
You needed to show some solid performance.
열심히 준비해왔는데 제 운명을 믿으려고요.
He said, well, PartinG said he prepared a lot,
조지명식 때
but I
이런
also
이야기를
really prepared a
했죠.
lot too.
자 2조에 걸려서 내가 못 올라가면 게임을 접어야 한다. 오늘 결승전에서 원희삭 선수를 만났어요. 원희삭 선수의 최근에 뭐 IM에서도 이겼고 최근 경기에서 좋은 기록하고 있잖아요.
So recently, you
오늘은
beat
뭐 이 원희삭한테 뭐 지면은 뭘 해야 되는 그런 거 없습니까?
그런 건 없고 그냥
Tell us about that.
요즘 방심하면 지더라고요. 그래서 아예 방심 안 하고 제 최선을 다해서 꼭 이기고 싶어요.
Lately, I've noticed if I drop my guard at all, I'll
스타테일의
lose.
한솥밥을 먹으면서
So I just
서로를
didn't do that back
견제했고
then, and I won't
이
do it
묘한
today.
라이벌 구도가 생겼어요. 항상 원희삭 선수 먼저 이야기를 했죠. 이승현 선수에게
But you two were
버릇을
once in the same
고쳐주겠다.
group, so you
지금
should
이
know each
자리에
other's style
결승전에
pretty well.
왔는데 커리어상으로 이승현 선수 훨씬 더 높아요. 여기서
But you
선배지만
also said you would
커리어가
punish
낮은
PartinG
원희삭
since
선수에게
he's
한
a
말씀
bad kid
해주시다면요.
in Life's words.
일단
Tell
제가
us about
우승도
that.
많이 하기도 했고 했는데 이삭이 형도 잘한다고 생각해서
오!
제가 방심 안 하고
I've won a
하려고
lot of
방심 안 하고
titles.
네,
오늘은
But you
좀
know
많이
what?
아끼겠다.
네, 방심
I
안
shouldn't drop my
하고
guard for a second.
그래요?
I'm still hungry.
최종전 2013
PartinG
년에
is
한번
still a great
접었죠.
player.
네.
탈락을 한번 해봤죠. 그때 기억을 여기서 떠올리면서 지금 오늘 방심 안 하겠다. 아, 그럼 하고 싶은 얘기도 아끼겠다.
You were actually eliminated by PartinG in 2013, and he says, yeah, I
원희삭
remember
선수
that.
자신감의
And
원희삭
he
이제
says he'll have to be
악동
very
이미지를
careful.
벗고 개구장이 뭐 장난꾸러기 그런 이미지를 벗고 이제 악마로서 거듭나야 되는 거 아닙니까? 오늘 이 자리에서 이승현 선수에게 선배로서
So you're gonna have to. He says, the MC is saying, you got to overcome this bad kid image
승현이가
you
말
have and become even more
아낀다는데
evil.
이미 속으로도 4대 0이라고 생각할 것 같고 자신감이 워낙 많은 애기 때문에.
Well, Life said that
근데
I
저도
should,
그만큼
that he should drop
자신감이
his
있어서
guard for a
4대0을
second.
할 거라고 오늘.
But in his mind, he said it's going to be
오늘
4-0.
와주신
That's way too
팬분들한테
confident
죄송하지만
coming from him.
4대0 경기 둘 중 한 명 나올 것 같아요.
그래요? 저 모한이 형 백도다 오늘 4대0.
But I'm telling you right now, it's going to be 4-0 my side.
플레이를 준비를 해왔습니까?
It's going to be one of us taking a 4-0. Sorry
그냥
for the
오늘
fans
영혼
in the
다
venue, but it's
걸라고요.
going to be a short series, he says.
목숨을 걸고
And he said he's going to bet his soul tonight.
모든 걸
I'll take
쏟아붓겠다는
that bet.
이 이야기를 들으면서 이승현 선수는 살짝 미소를 지었습니다. 어떤 의미예요?
Excuse me, he says, Life, why are you
만
laughing?
된다고 모든 걸 쏟아부어도 제가 이길 것 같아요.
텔론만 된다고 쏟아부어도 이승현 선수가 된다. 왜냐면 원희삭 선수 12시간 동안 단 한
He
번도
says the
우승을
owner of the throne will already determine the soul.
텔론만 된다. 원희삭은
그렇게 따지면 안 될
He
놈인데.
says he's the king,
그래도
he's the champion, he'll be the one
해외대회에서 많이
to do
우승했기
with PartinG soul. This has gotten very dark, guys. He says, well, according to Life, I'm not the king yet,
모든 걸
but I have the same thoughts.
선수들이 이야기했습니다. 서로가 텔론이라고 이야기를 했습니다.
And he says the heavens will decide who's going to be the champion tonight. Wow, this is getting epic, ourselves.
It certainly is.
여러분 준비되셨죠?
They put a lot into this
선수들도 잘
match, man.
준비했습니다. 여러분의 큰 박수 함성으로 결승전 무대는
And
시작!
our MC is basically saying, are you guys ready? Because we are starting the finals here of this year's first GSL Codes. Quite possibly going to be the best finals we've ever seen.
It definitely could be. It has that potential. Everyone knows it. Guys, get out there. Hashtag GSL on Twitter. Tell your friends on Facebook. Post it all over the place because this is going to be epic.
It is packed in here. The world is watching. And before tonight, we will be crowning this year's first GSL Codes champion.
Today's matchup, Yoey Flash Wolves PartinG, KT Roster Life.
기록을 만들고 있는 신의 원희삭 선수.
제가 게이머 도전한 지 기억도 안 날 정도로 엄청 오랜 세월을 지냈는데 세월을 보상받는 그 우승이 제 세월을 다 보상받을 수 있는
적의 새로운 시선 이상현.
옛날 기억도 많이 나고 힘든 시기가 정말 많았는데 혼자서 마인드 컨트롤을 최대한 열심히 해서 극복할 수 있었던 것 같아요.
이 대회, 이 GSL 하나만 바라보고 저는 진짜 열심히 살아왔거든요. 매번 GSL에서만 성적이 안 나가지고 솔직히 포기하고 싶었던 순간이 너무 많았었어요. 세계 최고에 대해서 무조건 우승컵 들고 먼 미래에 제 자식한테 자랑하고 싶은 게 제 꿈이기 때문에 그래도 포기하지 않았어요.
처음이기 때문에 꼭 더 우승하고 싶고 새로울 것 같아요, 기분이. 첫 우승 때는 전부 다 쉽게 올라와서 간절함이 더 없었던 것 같은데 이번에는 8강과 4강에서 다전제 모두 풀세트까지 가서 이긴 거기 때문에 더 간절한 것 같아요.
더 이상 아쉬워서 못 나가고 있는데
원래 저그에 대한 트라우마는 없었는데 근데 윤수형한테 지다 보니까 이제 윤수형이 엄청 무섭고 윤수형이 저그를 하니까 이제 저그도 엄청 무서운 두 개가 동시에 생긴 것 같아요. 정말 위기라고 생각했어요. 경기도 정말 아슬아슬했고 막 빌드 싸움에서도 많이 지고 정말 힘든 싸움이었는데 이기니까 진짜 가슴이 뻥 뚫리더라고요.
김준호 선수 하는 것 자체가 스트레스예요. 토스랑 하면
진짜 힘들었던 것 같은데 제가 이긴 거 자체가 아예 안 믿길 정도로 기뻤어요. KT로 이적하게 돼서 토스전이 좀 많이 자신감이 생겼어요. 누굴 만나도 상관없는 것 같아요, 이제는.
제가 풋풋전이 정말 자신 있었고 쉽게 우승하고 싶은 욕심이 약간 있었는데 근데 역시 좀 하늘이 이렇게 쉽게는 안 해주는 것 같고
테란전이 제가 자신 있어가지고 성환이 형이랑 더 하고 싶었어요. 근데 지금 어차피 올라온 거니까
같은 팀이었기도 했고 서로 너무 잘 알고 있어요. 저도 승현이를 잘 알고
열심히 쉽죠. 이상이 형 약간 빈틈이 있어가지고
저는 자신 있기 때문에 상대 전적도 아마 비슷할 거예요. 경기 내용도 팬분들도 엄청 좋아하고 재밌는 게임 많이 나올 것 같은데
저랑 게임하면 뭔가 재밌나 봐요. 그래서 라이벌로 하고 싶어하는 것 같아요. 제 라이벌은 이신영 선수가 제 라이벌인 것 같아요. 이삭이 형 좀 많이 밑에죠.
신영이 형 그 인터뷰를 보고 웃기고 공감한 게 있는데 기본기가 없다고.
아 진짜 제가 그 말만 더 들으면 너무 어이가 없어가지고.
근데 저도 그 말을 예전부터 공감했었어요. 가끔 생각 없이 할 때가 있어요. 저글링을 정말 무리하게 쓴다던가.
이신영 선수도 그렇고 제가 제 기본기 탄핵할 실력이 아니던데 해봤는데 좀 이사경도 그랬다니까 좀 실망스럽고.
그 병력들한테 유닛들한테 정이 없어요. 그냥 막 던져요. 그냥 너 필요 없어 이렇게.
막 던진 적은 없는데 제 생각상으로는 당연히 소중하게 써야죠 이기려면.
제가 승일보다 뛰어나다고 생각하는 게 일단 판짝이나 컨트롤? 좀 더 세세한 부분?
잘 짜긴 한데 저그전은 좀 못 짜시던데. 판짜기는 제가 훨씬 더 잘하는 것 같고 컨트롤은 비슷한 것 같아.
승현이가 가끔 멍청할 때가 있어요. 너무 무리해서 질 때가 많거든요. 그 멍청함을 이용해서 이긴 적도 많아요.
8강에서 민수 형한테 이겨서 좀 저그전 극복한 것처럼 생각하나 본데 제가 IM에서 약간 정상이 아닌 상태로 게임했는데 생각보다 쉽더라고요.
그게 아직도 한인 게 제가 유리한 경기들을 많이 졌어요. 근데 제가 게이머 생활하면서 이제 처음으로 국내 결승 올랐는데 그때 이제 가족들 앞에서 약간 처참하게 진 것도 있어가지고
제가 이사겸한테 16강에서 GSL 때 많이 발목을 잡혔거든요.
우주여행 보내줄 사진 있습니다.
야, 매치 드디어 성사됐어요. 신현 선수, 원희삭 선수 넘지 못하네요.
진짜 이번에 칼 갈고 복수하고 싶어요.
위로부터는 저도 꼭 이기고 싶다는 생각으로 게임하고 있어요.
진짜 최종 보스라고 생각하고 진짜 승현이 자꾸 우승한다면 말로 표현할 수 없을 정도로 행복할 것 같아요.
약간 입으로 게임하는 형이라서 혼내주고 싶어요.
승현이 밟고 트로피 가져와야죠.
이사경이 좀 많이 불쌍하긴 한데 별놈만 된다고 우승할 사람은 따로 있는 것 같아.
승현아, 3년 만에 이렇게 다시 결승이란 무대에 만날 줄 몰랐는데 그때와 다르게 엄청 강해졌고 형은 네 콧대 한번 꺾어줄 거고 연습 진짜 잘해와라.
이삭이 형 상만 달라진 게 아니고 저도 많이 달라졌는데 이번에 결승 상대하기가 더 힘들 거예요.
2015 GSL Season 1 Finals.
Well, we're finally here, Artosis. We are about to begin the finals of this year's GSL Code S.
That's right. Life against PartinG. I am just so pumped. I love those interviews.
The interviews were great. I love the personalities of the players. Their play style is very different. It's so cool. And not all of the GSL finals are necessarily the most hyped things ever. No. Sometimes we have one player who's clearly the favorite, and the games turn out to be very one-sided. I don't think that's going to be the case here tonight.
No, this is one of the nights where if it's a 4-0, I'm like, well, that was still good. Okay, like Nesty versus Losera, 4-0 wasn't any good. Nesty versus Inca, no good. Okay, even the 7-game series, Nesty versus MKP, no good. Okay, this is different. If this was 4-0, it's like something really weird going on.
Much more one-sided in nature, but I can't imagine this would be a 4-0.
No, this is going to be an excellent series.
I feel like PartinG might take it. What do you think, Artosis?
I have to lean towards Life, as many people are.
Don't blame you for going towards Life. I just feel like PartinG's pretty good at preparation. I do think it's true he's not the greatest in PvZ, but I think he might be able to pull it off here now.
His PvZ, though, historically he's found very abusive builds he's been very good at. He did beat Solar,
now, when you do
which is huge. Solar's one of the best EVPers in the world.
When you do a lot of abusive builds in PvZ, that doesn't tend to pan out well in a best-of-7 when you get late into the tournament. So it'll be interesting to see how the first 2 or 3 games turn out and how well Life is adjusting and PartinG is continuing to further adjust his builds to keep Life a little bit off here. Also, keep in mind, Life, some of the best control there is, maybe the best control. He wins a lot of his games not based off an overall strategy that he was trying to execute throughout the entire game, but oftentimes these split-second moments where he sees an opportunity, goes in for the kill, counterattack, whatever it may be, makes that work, and it snowballs from there.
You know what? Right now, a lot of people are just talking a whole lot. Wow, this guy's been
oh my God, he got all of them.
See,
I don't know if we have any more of those. These are those are the final cards that we have. You can pick those up at the front desk with GSL coins if we still have any left. There's a lot of people down here today. Oh, I was just told not today here for GSL
but
coins.
I think you get
Never
one
mind
just
what I
coming.
just said.
So, guys, I want to talk for a second about the matchup of these two playing against each other, because a lot of people bring up the fact that Life just beat Hero in the round of 4, and Hero is considered by basically everyone to be the best Protoss in the world, including the best at PvZ. But the styles of these two players are quite different.
Very different.
And if you really pay attention to how the games went, for instance, on Merry-Go-Round, Hero against Life, he did the exact same build that PartinG did against Solar, except you see PartinG did it 100 times better than Hero did it. Okay, it's like not even close. Like PartinG was way
Hero,
better at
I would say if you had to study PvZ for the ladder, go for Hero.
Yes.
But if you want to win a GSL Codes Finals, you might want to be doing builds like PartinG here.
Maybe. I mean, the types of play that these two bring to the table are completely different. And, you know, even though I would agree that Hero is maybe overall a better Protoss than PartinG, in this situation, I think that PartinG has a better shot than what people are giving him. Absolutely. Well, this is going to be a lot of fun, man.
I'm really excited.
Whew, guys, get out there. Tell your friends this is starting. You don't have any friends? Tell random people. They'll be your friends for introducing them to the greatest show on Earth in the finals.
We have the two players now entering their soundproof booths. That was interesting. Take a look at that, Artosis. We actually have a different setup for the booths now. They have the entire booth to themselves.
As they should.
We cut them and cut them up. And normally we have 4 booths here. We now have 2 giant ones today.
Yeah, these guys are giants of, you know, StarCraft, of esports, so they deserve the whole booth.
There's a little bit more information and what would change if they did win. If PartinG won, you see there's information there, but Life as well. A lot on the line. StarCraft history is being made right now with this spectacular finals of Life vs. PartinG.
Yeah. By the way, notice second GSL Zerg player who have won 3 titles if he wins. I want to point something out.
Who was the one before?
Oh, I don't know. Was it a sniper? Oh wait, no, it was Nesty. But I want to point something out about Life because it's so rare that you get a player that has completely distinct peaks in his career. I never had more respect for an accomplishment than Jelizerg winning the Golden Mouse in StarCraft 1 because all the other like Boneswood type guys that won like things like the Golden Mouse did them all in a row. They're like really close to each other. Jelizerg distinctly in 3 different eras won championships, which is like, wait
remarkable.
a minute, you peaked as best in the world
and you
3 times?
The way the maps
over
had
the course
shifted,
of years?
The way the metagame had shifted, so much had changed in that period. And Life is one of these players as well.
And yeah, I mean, he peaked over in 2012-13. Or like, yeah, 2012 mostly, and then kind of slumped through the end of 2013, 2014, something like that. And now he's back as of the end of 2014 and peaking as top in the world again. And it's like, I can't even describe how difficult that is for a player to do something like that. Almost no one has ever done.
Remarkable. By the way, you can see the history between these two players, very even. It's one of the reasons why we're expecting this to be a day that should go all the way to Game 7.
Yeah, they are a great match. Both of them very aggressive players historically, very micro-based historically. This is like a dream come true finals, seriously.
It really is.
You know, I just rewatched PartinG's match against Solar and Life's match against Hero, and like the more I looked at it, the more I was like, oh god, PartinG actually has much more of a shot than what anyone would say. You know, the little mistakes that Hero made that let Life beat him are mistakes that PartinG is less likely to with his type of control and his type of game mindset. So
here is the list of the maps now. Merry-Go-Round, Deadwing, Catalina, King Sejong Station, Foxtrot, Labs, Overgrowth, and if we do go to that final set, just like we had in the semifinals with Life and Hero, we'll be going on the map Iron Fortress.
I love this map order so much because Merry-Go-Round right now, the trend is for Protoss to go 2-base all in. Will Life use his 2-base Roach Burrow movement strategy? Will he do something else? Will PartinG go for that 2-base all in?
That is a very good point, actually, because Life had a very specific way of playing with that Roach Burrow style that he used against Hero. Now, has he reinvented a style that he's going to use against PartinG, or will he bring that out? Because PartinG is somebody who can prepare, if he has enough time, he can get very prepared to play against his opponent and counter that play style.
This is really cool because, we have that map, which is like very aggressive to open out, probably. And then it's followed up by one of the 3 maps that you're going to much more likely see a macro game on, like a very standard game, Deadwing. Because it is hard to kill people early on in that map. So this is a really cool and dynamic lineup for the order of these maps.
Merry-Go-Round, map 1. Who do you think takes it? I'm thinking.
Okay.
I
think the one who takes that wins the series most likely. I think that is such an important match because PartinG should be going for probably a 2-base all-in, and if he can make that work when it's kind of predictable on this map, that bodes so well for him. Whereas if Life does something like his 2-base layer rush and holds that, what can PartinG possibly throw at him after that?
Well, let's see what happens here. It is packed in the studio. If there's a fire in this building, everybody's going to die.
Whoa. Not Tasteless and I. We have a special slide that brings us out.
That's right. As you can see here, we got fans, Korean, non-Korean out here. We have plenty of people who have actually flown out here to see this finals.
Yeah, this is... everyone wants to see a finals like this. You know,
well, this is really like the esports dream, right? I mean, you're not going to get matches really better than this. We see people here from New Zealand even, just there in the audience.
And we're due for a sick esports final. Katowice had a 4-1. You know, we had SSL finals last night, just totally one-sided 4-1 once again. We need a 4-3 here is what I'm saying, Tasteless.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Here is a closer look at PartinG in the booth, going over the builds he's going to have to execute. It is so difficult to get into a GSL Codes finals. Even these guys we've seen here that have been in 10
it's like
GSLs in a row.
Anything else.
It's just the hardest thing. It's first of all, it's so hard to even get into GSL Codes.
Yeah.
It's hard to get out of GSL Code A. To get a moment like this for PartinG especially, he cannot fail, or he may never have this opportunity ever again in his entire career.
Exciting stuff, Tasteless. See a lot of fans out there showing their love for PartinG. Who doesn't love that guy?
Well, I mean,
who doesn't love both of these guys?
He's got such a great personality, but Life, very confident, maybe even a little bit cocky there in that finals interview, but how can you blame him? He's had so much success. First GSL Codes he was ever in, he won, which is unheard of.
Yeah. It's astonishing how good this guy is right now. He was like, I mean, after winning IM Taipei, he got super deep both in SSL and GSL. There was a possibility he could win IM Taipei followed by SSL, GSL, and Katowice. And those other two have not worked out, but here we are in GSL Codes. Most people are leaning towards Life winning this. Recently, he is just too strong, it seems.
He's just the winningest player right now.
No.
But this is the biggest tournament that there is in StarCraft. Only one of these guys is going to win the Sartosis. I think PartinG is a great match here. We got support for Life right now in the studio. Curious, actually, how many people here in the studio rooting for PartinG. I get the impression as popular as PartinG is, Life might be just a little bit more popular.
I would say so. Reigning world champion and the lone Zerg to really be strutting his stuff at the top
By the way, guys, let's not forget, PartinG a while back won the World Championships.
Yeah, that was 2012.
12, yeah. We cast that in Shanghai. He actually won that above all other players. This guy was at one point in time just unstoppable. Now it's his chance to make it happen again.
That's right. Can he do it? Can he take down his first GSL Codes title after 12 seasons?
12 seasons he's been in.
And that's consecutive, too.
Yeah.
This guy,
which means he's pretty damn good, man. You stay in GSL for that long, even if you're not winning. The fact that you could stay here and still compete at that level is huge.
Well, the first map going to be merry-go-round. The map is loading up, guys. Get hyped. Get out there. Let people know this match is going to be insane.
Game 1 has now loaded. This is the GSL Codes Finals with PartinG against Life.
Cameras to capture your image at City Hall. Realize they listen whenever you make a call. If you want a revolution, I'll really give it to y'all.
Oh! It's already, it's happening. He's
so sick.
Set out to start.
He's proxy gating.
He's proxy gating.
Your Flash whoops PartinG.
I mean, anyways, he's PartinG, but he's proxy gating. Look at that micro sending those probes at both the mains. Oh, dude.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
It was like Myung-Shik who did this in Pro League and got caught, and we all felt like he was idiots. But you know what? You're only an idiot if you're caught. If it works, you're a damn genius. Oh, my God.
This is so sick.
This is for real. Guys, this series is insane. Tell everyone.
I mean, this is such a great way to start out. This is so cheesy. You don't even normally see this amongst high-level players. It's so gimmicky. He's just going to make gateways. The reason why you see this last is that you're losing minerals by sending 2 probes out to go to each main. In this case,
I mean, if they check for it, you lose. It's 100% loss.
Yeah. Oh!
Oh my God! This is insane! He has spotted it. The spawning pool is right there. If this somehow goes off, that spawning pool will die very quickly.
Now,
but oh my God. He is losing so much mining time.
The drones are not mining, so this is where it starts to get a little bit weird here. With
he has 11 drones off minerals right now.
He made a 3rd gateway. He's going to cancel at the last second. No.
Oh, he's making him actually spend all. And I'll tell you, he probably practiced that too.
Yeah.
Whether or not he should cancel there. And well, Life is doing a lot of damage here, but he should be able to get a spine up. This is. I can't imagine this being an issue for him to stop. Again, if you scout this, it doesn't work.
It's 10 probes to 17 drones, by the way. So PartinG has to do some damage here early on.
A little bit surprised he put it out there where the Zealot's going to be able to hit it more easily. But
every probe hit, by the way, every drone hit counts right now. It's very important.
We're playing for real, guys. Here we go. The drone's coming up, trying to get a nice surround on. Does get the probe. Yes, he does.
Got the probe.
And all he needs is his spine crawler to finish, and that is a huge defense against Zealots.
Now, you also have to keep in mind that there's nothing back at the Protoss' base, so there's a strong chance that PartinG's going to get counterattacked here and be in a lot of trouble. Drones are pulled again.
Oh, man, this is about as bad as it could be right now for him. Now this puts him on a clock. He's going to lose that gateway eventually. Might not.
He can still crank out a few more Zealots.
Looks like he's going to skip that gate altogether, though.
Now he's going to try to come around now. Now he's going back. He's using this little nook there above that pylon to stuff the Zealots back in there. But this is just not going to last very long. Zerg obviously not with an expansion here. Oh my God, okay, forced cancel there. Nicely done. Microing back that Zealot. Now, he can come down here to the right and actually engage these drones. And the spine might have to be relocated, but if it's relocated, he can send his Zealots, or make more Zealots from that, too.
Beautiful micro on both sides right now. These Zealots getting surrounded. The drone's going to help to pick 2 off. The other 2 Zealots, one of them very low right now. He's going to be so careful with that. 2 Queens. No way. This is over.
That's
Tasteless.
over. What's back in PartinG's main? We haven't even gotten a shot. That doesn't matter. GG.
And already, guys.
Oh, my God. You see the reaction there on Life.
Well, that's a stressful one.
Close.
I can't believe he checked for that. That was like such a clutch moment right there. And, wow. There you have it. 1-0 for Life, Tasteless. Not boding well for PartinG. That was a ballsy strategy, though. And if I'm Life here, I'm like, oh, my God. This guy is literally willing to bet his soul on this match.
This man is insane. Now, that was a very important game because of the way it developed. That was a huge risk that could have seriously put Life on tilt there.
Here's a quick question for you, Tasteless. Do you think it's possible that he thought that Hero won the series against Life and he was playing a PvP here today?
You can see both the players in the already joined the lobby now talking about that last game. We don't know what they're saying, but both of them laughing about that.
Probably map hack or something like that. Like, how'd you see that? How'd you know? So crazy, guys.
Well, had PartinG won that, that would have been a huge boost to PartinG. But now PartinG opening up with a strat like that, getting shut down, getting humiliated by Life. You know, the reason why we don't see that a lot in pro games is because if you see it, you stop it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But sometimes in, games of this degree, people stop checking for stuff like that.
That's true. It does take a little bit extra time. That costs you, a few minerals to go over and check that. And it just never happens. But the fact that Life is checking that, the fact that he said in his interview beforehand he can just never let his guard down, this may not bode well for PartinG. Now that that's been scouted, does that change how PartinG wants to play the series slightly? Maybe he has a lot of really risky strategies like that planned. But if he does, the fact that Life checked for that, I'd say that Life's going to check for just about everything.
Well, I also am really wondering, does PartinG have any more tricks like that? Because I think that might be the most extreme of builds we're going to see there from PartinG. But when you do that once, if you try to pull off any kind of strat like that again and it fails, you're probably going to get knocked out. That was an attempted free win.
It was.
To get momentum here. And let me tell you something. That's how PartinG will win this if he does win today, is with some sneaky stuff.
Well, he has more tricks than anyone, man. He is like the ultimate Protoss criminal or something like that.
All right, game number 2 has loaded up. We are in the GSL Codex Finals with PartinG against Life.